Page C34 in your pink book solutions. I kind of set it up on C33 when we were doing the equations. I kind of set it up already for you. If you look at number 1, our of statement, it was 1/2 of the shaded part. The shaded part was 3/4. So it'd be 1/2 of 3/4 for number 1. And you go over here. 1/2 of 3/4. The expression is 1/2 times 3/4. That's just a mathematical statement expression. The product is when you multiply it across. 3 times 1 is 3. 2 times 4 is 8. You should get 3/8. That's what we got back over here. Okay, for number 2, same thing. 2/3 of the shaded part. How much was the shaded part? Half of the bar is shaded. So 2/3 of 1/2. Come back over here. 2/3 of 1/2. Also known as 2/3 times 1/2. Multiply across. 2 times 1 is 2. Over 3 times 2 is 6. 2/6 is what we had. Yep. Also known as 1/3 is an equivalent fraction, but 2/6 is an accurate answer. Technically, this is 2/6. Okay, for number 3, 3/4 of the shaded part. The shaded part was 1/3. So it's 3/4 of 1/3. 3/4 of 1/3. Also known as 3/4 times 1/3. Okay, multiply across, get your new your product. Your new answer. 3 times 1 is 3. 4 times 3 is 12. Should be 3/12. 3. Yep, that's what I had. Okay, for number 4, it was 5/6 of the shaded part. Shaded part was 1/2. So 5/6 of 1/2 for number 4. Okay, it's also known as 5/6 times 1/2. If I multiply those out, I get a new product. 5 times 1 is 5. 6 times 2 is 12. 5/12. Is that what I got? Yes. Good. Okay, on to number 5. Solve the problems and fill in the table. Draw your own fraction bars. Haha, lucky you. Well, I'll draw a fraction bar anyway. Half of the bar is shaded. Take half, shade it up. 3/5 of the shaded part is striped. 3/5 is striped. So I'm going to cut it into fifths and find half, a little bit to the left of half, a little bit to the right of half. Chop what's left in half. Looks like about fifths, and I need 1, 2, 3 of them. I'm going to stripe up to there. I'm going to cut this in half too. A little bit to the left of half, a little bit to the right of half. Cut that in half, cut that in half. Okay. Now I am striping 3 of those 5. How many do I have? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 of them. 3 are striped, so I should get 3/10. Well, it says 3/5 of the shaded part. The shaded part, half of the bar is shaded, so half is the shaded part. Go down here, 3/5 of 1/2. Also known as 3/5 times 1/2. If you multiply it out, 3 times 1 is 3. 5 times 2 is 10. 3/10. I had 3 out of 10 shaded. That worked. Okay, let's try this back. Well, I say backwards. Reverse of what we just did. For number 6, half the bar is shaded. 4/5 of the shaded part. The shaded part is 1/2 of the bar. Is striped. How much of the bar is striped? Well, I'm going to take 4/5 of 1/2. 4/5 of 1/2. And these boxes don't seem big enough to me. 4/5 times 1/2. Now let's see what we should get. Mathematical answer should be 4 times 1 is 4. 5 times 2 is 10. We should get 4/10 when we do our fraction bar up here. So let's draw our fraction bar. I just draw a roughed out rectangle. Doesn't have to be perfect. Bar is a bar. That's nowhere near perfect, so that's good. Half of the bar is shaded. I'll find about half, and I'll shade it. Okay, half is shaded. 4/5 of the shaded part is striped, so I'm going to divide this into fifths. Remember, fifths, you kind of go down the middle, a little to the left, a little to the right, cut those in half, and that's about right. I'll do the same thing over here. There's the middle, a little to the left, a little to the right, cut those in half. I have 10 parts. Well, I needed to have 10 parts because there's 4/10 supposedly that are shaded. Half the bar shaded, or striped, I mean. Half the bar is shaded. 4/5 of the shaded part is striped. So I got 1, 2, 3, 4. I'm going to shade to there, or stripe to there. Geez, I keep messing that up. Stripe to there. 1, 2, 3, 4 parts are striped. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 parts of the whole bar. Should be 4/10. That is correct. It's also equivalent to 2/5, but technically that's 4/10 because it's cut up into 10 parts. Okay, for number 7, look at the table. You already have a rule for finding the denominator of the product by multiplying the denominator of the factors. Can you come up with a rule for finding the numerator of the product? Write it down. Talk to a partner about what your rule is and why you think it works. This one is pretty much that we've been tipping our hat to it all along. There's a rule for finding the numerator just like there is the denominator. Just like for this one here, it says multiply the product, or finding the denominator of the product by multiplying the denominators of the factors. So for this one, you can find the numerator of the product by multiplying the numerators of the factors. It's something that we've been doing already anyway, but now we're putting it into words. Just like to find the new numerator, the numerator of the product, you multiply the numerators of the factors. 4/5 and 1/2 are the factors here. Factors are things you multiply together. Multiply the numerators of the factors to get the numerator of the product. Just like you multiply the denominators of the factors to find the denominator of the product. Just a fancy way of saying multiply across and get your new numerator, multiply across, get your new denominator. But that's the technical way of putting it. Alright, those are the solutions. You guys are on to working on your Blue Book assignment, page 9 and 10, due Friday. Or you are finishing test corrections if you still owe me any. Or you are finishing up on the bracket for Roll Around the Clock if you are still on it. So those are your 3 choice things to do right now. And then after that, you have social studies later. Hope you're having a good day.